Welcome to What a Creep, the show with Margot Donahue and Sonia Mansfield talking about creeps from the past to the present.
This is your quick guide to the biggest creeps, jerks, assholes, and losers, the best of the worst.
From two nice ladies who want the world to be a little less creepy.
Welcome back to What a Creep. This is Margot Donahue, and my cohort in creepitude, as always, is the amazing Sonia Mansfield. Hey, Sonia.
Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend. Spring is here. Spring is in the air. We feel like rockin', so we're going to have a rockin' episode today. It's going to be a kid rockin' episode. Get it?
I don't get it. I get it.
We are the podcast that talks about creeps from the past to the present. And just wanted to warn you, we do have a basic Facebook page, but we only use it as a place for people to complain about our language. Yes, we use salty language in this program.
Fuck yeah.
If you want to join our private Facebook group, you have to answer some questions and not to act like a total fucking asshole. You go to...
Honestly, it's stupid that we have to say that.
Yes.
But please, don't act like a dick. and you could stay in the group. It's awesome.
So you just type What a Creep podcast group in Facebook and ask to join. Like I said, there's 3 little questions. Come on in. Actually, it's a fantastic group of people. That's where we mainly hang out. But you can also find us on Twitter at CreepPod. It's at CreepPod because somebody had What a Creep on Twitter for 12 years and never used it.
Creep.
We're on Instagram at What a Creep Podcast, and we also have an old-timey email, whatacreeppodcast@gmail.com. If you would like some stickers, we are happy to send them to you in the mail, wherever you are on the planet of Earth. We will get them to you.
If you are not on the planet Earth, sorry.
If you're a cosmonaut out there in Space Force someplace.
Look, I think Richard Branson and Elon Musk are working on it, but in the meantime, we can't deliver stickers
How
to
do you feel about Elon Musk being a major stockholder in Twitter now?
It fucking bums me out.
I know, same.
He sucks.
Anyway, we've talked about him. He's in one of our past episodes. Sonia, do you want to talk about our website really quick?
Yeah, you can go there and find links to almost all of our past episodes, except for seasons 1 through 4. Are behind our Patreon page. More about that in a minute. But it's everything you ever wanted to know about our show, but we're afraid to ask. There's a link to our merch shop where you can get tote bags, journals, T-shirts. I have a mug. I'm drinking out of it right now. I'm showing it to Margot. It says, "Damn it, Max."
I love it.
Which some other people have shared in our creep group. They have also been buying the "Damn it, Max" mugs, and thank you for that. And if you want to go to our Patreon page, we have very affordable options. And you could get bonus episodes, and we get a newsletter that I send out in time most of the time. And you can get links to those first 4 seasons if you want as well.
Yes, so go to Patreon, Patreon, look up What a Creep Podcast, and thank you to Nora, Jem, and Ava, or Eva, either one, for signing up for Patreon. We really appreciate it. And just quickly, I want to thank a few people who left us 5-star reviews. MMS42, who wants to know when we're covering Jordan. I was like, Jordan who? Crossing Jordan? And then like, oh, right, Jordan Peterson.
Yes.
On the list, trust me.
Yes.
On the list. Sweet Lorraine. Aw. Way to go, girls. And Jay Rowan, thank you all very much. We really appreciate that. If you do like the show, even if you just hit 5 stars, you don't have to go through all the process of writing a review. It helps us with our standing there. But fuck it. Do what you're going to do. Wherever you listen to our podcast, if you like what you hear, please leave us a note if you can. Or on Spotify, I think you can leave 5 stars. So
yes.
Just tell a friend about the show. Or
that helps too.
That totally helps. Or once again, just ask for some stickers. Slap it on your laptop. Go out to the coffee shops where I guess everything's open already and again. And show your love for the show.
Please. Please and thank you.
Now, Sonia.
Yes.
Are you ready to rock?
I'm ready to rock.
Are you ready to kid rock?
I'm never ready to Kid Rock. Let me pull up my script here. Okay. So we know this. Kid Rock sucks. And we're not just talking about his new music. When he's not dropping homophobic slurs at his concerts or slut-shaming famous women, he's kissing disgraced former President Trump's ass and singing praises of the Confederate flag. What a creep. Sources for this episode include Biography, Billboard, Complex, Consequence, The Guardian, People. I love me some People. Rolling Stone, USA Today, Vulture, and our good friends at Wikipedia. Trigger warnings, homophobia, misogyny, and shitty music.
So you don't have any of his music on your playlist?
I should rephrase shitty new music, let me say, because I used to like Kid Rock's music back in. Yeah.
I like that one song that's like the combination of Werewolves of London and Sweet Home Alabama. Do you know that one? He combines the two of them. One. I used to play it on some of my summer playlists. And it's cheesy, but it's fun.
Yeah. And that's what a lot of his early stuff. Well, and it was pretty dirty. More on that in a minute. Okay. So let's start on the beginning. Start at the beginning. His name is Kid. Just kidding. It's Robert James Ritchie, and he was born January 17th, 1971 in Romeo, Michigan. Romeo. His parents were William and Susan Ritchie. His father owned multiple car dealerships. And I know that Kid Rock loves to sing about how he's, quote, straight out the trailer. But the truth is he lived on a 5,600 square foot house in a 6-acre estate where he was always picking apples with his family and taking care of their horses.
That's what I imagined.
Not quite the image he sells.
Not exactly inner Detroit.
No, not at all. Like a lot of people, Kid Rock became very interested in hip hop in the 80s, and he joined a breakdance crew, and he was teaching himself how to rap and DJ. And from there, he began performing at local parties as part of a rap group called the Beast Crew. And he met someone named D-Nice. D-Nice is a member of KRS-One's Boogie Down Productions.
I remember.
Yes. And this led to an opening slot at a Boogie Down Productions concert. And D-Nice, who was signed to Jive Records, helped Kid Rock land a deal with that same label.
That was very nice of D-Nice.
Very nice of D-Nice. Hence the name.
Right.
I assume the D stands for damn, like damn nice. Damn nice of you, D-Nice.
I always think Dick, but maybe that's just me.
It probably is.
I'm Dick Nice. Not Dick Scary. The opposite of Louis C.K. Dick Monster.
That's right. Kid Rock's debut album was called Grit Sandwiches for Breakfast.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was. Yeah, because he's straight out the trailer. That was released in 1990. Rolling Stone magazine criticized it, and this is a quote. It's so insistently generic. It's like he tossed everything about hip hop in 1990 into a giant colander and sifted out all the individuality.
Oh, Rolling Stone, will you ever not be bitchy?
I know they hate everything except for Neil Young.
Yes,
except for Neil Young and Bob Dylan. So
Radiohead.
His next two albums, they were too filthy to play on the radio. One of them was called Early Morning Stoned Pimp. Yeah.
Not late in the afternoon.
No.
Stoned Pimp.
No. Early morning.
Before his coffee. Pimp. Stoned Pimp.
I hear you, Kid Rock. I am also an early morning.
Need to brush my teeth and then I'm going to get mad.
But he toured relentlessly, and he is very good at self-promotion, and he got himself a cult following. So in 1998, he signed with Atlantic Records, and his fourth album, Devil Without a Cause, sold more than 14 million copies. Now, this is probably when most of us heard of Kid Rock. Mm-hmm. He had songs like Cowboy, and the one that I'm going to mispronounce is like Bad Witcha, Bad da Ba. whatever. The one that starts with, my name is Kid. That one. You know, and he had like the rock rap thing going on, and all of his videos were like he's like dressed as a pimp in the trailer park, and he's like walking in slow motion, and there's like strippers and motorcycles, and
so it's like Beastie Boys, but without the humor, without the irony. Okay.
Yes, because and it's so funny you say that. So this genre was huge. It was like this rap rock thing, and it was like Limp Bizkit, Korn. Even you could maybe put Rage Against the Machine in there.
No, you may not. Sorry.
Rage Against the Machine is way better than all of those, by the way. But it was insanely popular, and the truth is, like, the Beastie Boys and Run DMC were doing it in the 80s, but it really became a whole thing in the 90s, and Kid Rock rode that wave. So despite being like active in the music industry for like more than 10 years, he was nominated for a Grammy for Best New Artist in 2000.
Grammys. Keep Grammy and Grammys. We should do a show about the Grammys.
Oh my God, we totally should. He didn't win, by the way. He was nominated. In 2004, he performed at the Super Bowl, and it was quite controversial because he wore an American flag, like as a poncho. Veterans were like, I don't like this. This makes me mad. It's desecrating the flag. But luckily for him, Janet Jackson had a wardrobe malfunction, and everybody quickly forgot that Kid Rock was even there.
Yeah.
Yeah. In 2007, he kind of started... he like kind of ditched hip hop, and it was more like rock and country. And that's when he had his first #1 album called Rock and Roll Jesus.
He's not even trying.
I know. And that sold over 5 million copies. Like I said, first #1 album. And I just wrote, must have been a slow month musically. And he went even more country in 2010 with a song called Born Free.
As free as the wind blows.
Born Free. What
You're my lion.
Born Free was one of those songs that like the MLB picked up during like baseball playoffs, and like you would watch it on like TBS and TNT, and they would have like commercial, and it's like Born Free, and I'm like, ugh. Song sucked. So that's his music stuff. But now we're going to talk about what a creepy is. So in 2001, Kid Rock met Pamela Anderson at a VH1 event. And they were engaged in April 2002. Then they broke up. Mm-hmm. Then they reunited, and they were married in July 2006.
2001 and then 2006?
Yes.
Okay.
4 months later, they filed for divorce.
Yes.
So there's a few reasons that maybe this happened. So one is there's this their families didn't get along. That's one of the theories. Another one is that Kid Rock is really into hunting, and Pamela Anderson is a vegan, and
she's an animal rights activist.
Yes, a very, very outspoken advocate.
Picker is terrible.
It is
Pamela Anderson.
Her what is terrible?
Her picker. Like the
sorry. For some reason I thought you said her like sticker? Her Instagram was terrible, and I was like, oh my God, is it? I'm like, I don't follow her.
No,
yeah, she picks bad ones.
Yeah,
girl, be single.
Yeah,
be single.
Please, just be single.
Yeah, at some point she hooked up with Rick Solomon. Remember him?
Oh yeah, but I mean also not Robert Evans. She did some old guy, Peter. What's his face? Barbara Streisand's boyfriend from the movie.
John Peters?
Yes.
Oh my God, she does.
Streisand. I'm doing that stupid licorice pizza. Sorry.
So that is also maybe one of the reasons. And she claims that wasn't really an issue, that he didn't do any hunting when he was with her. But there is a story about how like Kid Rock's mother showed up to the wedding wearing like a fur-length full coat. And really did not like Pamela Anderson. But the deal breaker was apparently he really didn't like it when she was in the movie Borat. And
why?
They did.
She's hilarious.
So they went to a premiere or whatever, and that he flipped out in the theater when the movie was over, and he called her a slut.
Oh no.
And he said that she humiliated herself. And he said, "You're nothing but a whore. You're a slut. How could you do that movie?" He yelled at her in front of people. So Sacha Baron Cohen saw all of this.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And then
he said, "My wife, you're hurting my wife. Stop making her my wife."
Right. "You're a slut. How could you do that? You're my wife." So Sacha Baron Cohen actually texted her the next day to like check on her. And she said that Kid Rock was divorcing her. So clearly their marriage wasn't on a good place if Borat can break up your marriage. So
like she didn't tell him about the filming or.
No, yeah.
It's funny. She's hilarious in it.
Yeah. It's a funny movie. Kid Rock's just a dick. He's a dick.
He wanted. He's making an excuse. He wanted out.
Yeah, exactly. And apparently during this 4-month marriage, she also suffered a miscarriage and like called him and was like, "I want you to come to me," like wherever she was. He was like on tour or something and he wouldn't. And he later told Rolling Stone she was faking the miscarriage.
Oh, fuck you.
Which I know. I'm not buying it. Fuck off, Kid Rock. So Kid Rock's rocky marriage to Pamela Anderson also led to a fight at the MTV Video Music Awards in 2007. Kid Rock slapped Tommy Lee after
what?
allegedly overhearing Tommy Lee talking trash about him to P. Diddy, which might be the most 2007 thing I've ever said.
That's giving me a headache. Did he then say, "Take my wife's name out of your mouth"?
Exactly. So he wasn't even married to Pamela Anderson anymore at this point. Like, yeah. I don't know. He punched Lee in the face. Security had to show up and separate them. And Kid Rock was charged with misdemeanor battery after this. A month later, him and 5 members of his entourage got into a fight at a Waffle House in Atlanta.
That is so trashy.
I'm like, keep your shit out of Waffle House, you asshole.
Waffle Houses are a sacred place.
They are.
I agree.
Once again, charged with misdemeanor battery. He was released later that afternoon. He was also charged with assaulting a DJ in a strip club. Awesome dude. In January 2015, Kid Rock got a bunch of shit because he went hunting with Ted Nugent.
Former creep from the show.
Yes. And he there was some photo of like him with like a dead cougar and everyone was like, "That's gross. Like, how dare you be into hunting?" And I was like, how gross.
How gross.
There you are. You're back.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. So you were at how gross about the hunting.
So everyone was horrified that he's out there hunting with Ted Nugent. And I'm like, you should be horrified that he's hanging out with Ted Nugent. He's hunting. He's a sexual predator also. I mean, obviously hunting is not my jam, but also Ted Nugent, that's fucking gross. Yeah. I don't want to be accused of not pointing out some good things. So Kid Rock actually did give $1 million to Detroit-based charities, including like an interactive music lab at the Historical Museum. He helped end a strike at the Detroit Symphony, and he funded a Made in Detroit scholarship at one of the universities. And because of his ongoing support of Detroit, Kid Rock was actually honored by the NAACP.
Okay.
Which I was like, what the fuck when I read that? Because it turns out there were all these protests because Kid Rock loves to wave the Confederate flag around. Loves to wave it around. And during the ceremony, like Kid Rock elaborated on how he waves the flag around. And this is what he said. "I never flew the flag with hate in my heart.
Oh, for God's sakes.
I love America. I love Detroit. And I love black people." He still waves the flag around. This is still a thing that he does. I think that's 100% hate in his heart with doing this. There was a church shooting here in this country in Charleston. This was in 2015. And it was in a in a black church. Like a white supremacist went in and killed a bunch of people in a church. And a local chapter in Michigan of the National Action Network asked Kid Rock, come on, stop waving that flag around. Like, it's time to renounce it. And instead of listening and learning, Kid Rock said, I've never had a problem with the Confederate flag.
Oh, okay, then.
Yeah, it just represents pride and Southern rock and roll music.
No, it doesn't.
Plus, it looks cool. Dude, that's not what the Confederate flag is. It represents racism and bigotry. Of course it doesn't bother you. You're a white dude.
Right.
Like, he's such trash. He also wrote an email to the Fox News channel, and he wrote it to host and garbage person Megyn Kelly, stating, please tell people who are protesting to kiss my ass. So
you tell them. What the fuck is he?
Yeah, I'm like, fuck off.
I don't like Megyn Kelly, but she doesn't. No, she's not your fucking mouthpiece.
I know. Well, he likes Fox News. He likes to use them as its.
Of course he does.
Of course he does. Other people he loves to talk shit about. So I never saw this movie. Did you see American Sniper?
Yes, I know that movie.
With Bradley Cooper. Okay.
Yes, it's the one with Clint Eastwood directs it. Clint Eastwood is known for like spending a week on a movie tops. Like first take only.
Yeah.
And there's a scene where he's playing a real person, but that person's story, I think you'll probably go into that, as controversial to say the least. But there's a scene where Bradley Cooper is holding a fake baby, and it looks like the fakest of fake babies ever in a fake movie. Like it's so distractingly stupid because he's crying or something. And then like, look at my baby, I'm holding my baby, and it's like plastic, like. Ridiculous.
That's I haven't even seen the movie because I was like, it's just not for me, and that's
like
fine.
One of those resuscitate babies that I used to train CPR.
Yes,
for. That's what it looks like.
So the story itself is pretty problematic, but once again, I haven't seen it, so whatever. But it comes out, and Seth Rogen and like director Michael Moore were criticizing it. They're like, I think it's like warmongering. It's glamorizing like killing civilians, all this stuff, So for whatever reason, Kid Rock decides that he needs to defend American Sniper. So he's like, fuck you, Michael Moore, you're a piece of shit, and your uncle would be ashamed of you. I don't know who Michael Moore's uncle is, but
Alexa?
Okay.
Who's Michael Moore's uncle? Oh, I don't think that's the one. Never mind. I probably didn't pick up on the mic.
It doesn't matter. I'm assuming his uncle. I'm going to assume that his uncle maybe served in the military.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
Okay, so your uncle would be ashamed of you. And then he said, Seth Rogen, your uncle probably molested you.
What?
I hope both of you catch a fist to the face soon. What the fuck?
Oh my God. What an asshole.
So, seriously, also, Kid Rock, sometimes it's okay to just not have an opinion. You could just shut your mouth.
Yeah, you don't have to wade in on everything.
Yeah. Also, what media organization was like, I wonder what Kid Rock thinks about the American Sniper movie. Who cares? Anyway, he also had the nerve to talk about Beyonce, saying he doesn't get what all the fuss is about.
Oh, boy.
And he said, Beyonce, to me, doesn't have a fucking purple rain. She's one of the biggest things on earth. How can you be that big without at least one Sweet Home Alabama or old time rock and roll? He's basically saying she doesn't have a big enough hit.
But he's also saying a white person's hit.
Yes.
Like, that's not what she does.
Yeah. People are like, Beyonce's hot. She's got a nice fucking ass or something. He's like, I'm like, cool. I like skinny white chicks with big tits. She doesn't really fucking do it much for me, is what he said. And then I wrote, keep Beyonce's name out of your fucking mouth, Kid Rock. Like, what the fuck?
It's not. What a fucking idiot. I mean, that's not the music she does. She doesn't do Sweet Home Alabama. That's not
also,
what she's going for. And she's a black woman, and she's one of the successful artists of the 21st century.
Yes. And she's had huge hits. Huge hits.
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry if they're not to your taste, Kid Rock. I guess, she doesn't have a fucking Bad Witta or whatever the fuck that song is.
My name is Bay.
My name is Bad Take. Bad Take, Kid Rock. Just fuck off. He was also criticized for he's just singing his Born Free in some concert and then like threw in a fuck Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, fuck you then.
I know, right? Like, how dare this football player, this black man, kneel during the national anthem during NFL games to protest police brutality? So just so you know, Kid Rock is allowed to have political opinions, but not black people. When Taylor Swift came out and endorsed Democratic candidates, he just said Taylor Swift wants to be a Democrat because she wants to be in movies.
What?
She could... And it looks like she will suck off a doorknob to get there. Oldest move in the book. Good luck, girl. So once again, Kid Rock is allowed to have political opinions, but not black people and definitely not women.
What a fucking asshole.
He's such an asshole.
My God.
By the way, whoever wrote in our Facebook group that they wanted to have a drinking game that said, seriously, fuck that guy, start drinking. Seriously, fuck this guy. So really, like, starting with the election of disgraced former President Donald Trump, Kid Rock went all in on being a shitty person. There's like a million think pieces out there about how the election of Trump emboldened racists and homophobes and sexists in this country. And Kid Rock is like a prime example of that. He actively campaigned for Trump. And he made campaign appearances with like Donald Trump Jr. And that fucking mouth breathing cokehead, Donald Trump Jr. And if you think campaigning for Trump, allegedly, if you think campaigning for Trump and hanging out with his gross family isn't enough to make you a creep, you're wrong. This isn't the right podcast for you.
Exactly.
I look forward to your 1-star review. So in December 2016, Kid Rock actually expanded his merch line on his website in support of Trump. And he had these like a map on a shirt. Part of like any state that wasn't like a red state was referred to as dumb fuckistan.
Oh, I've seen that one.
And it's like
but I've seen it in the reverse.
And then the United States of America is the red states. So like if you're blue, you're not American, and if you're red, you're American. You know, and then other ones were like God, guns, and Trump, and you know, Donald Trump, but like the D is missing because it's in every hater's mouth. So I guess every hater is got a dick in their mouth. Is the joke?
Dicks are coming up a lot in this episode.
Yeah, because he's a dick. At one point, he got cut from the Nashville Christmas parade because he was swearing on television about Joy Behar.
I'm sorry. That's funny.
Like, it's just like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's just like random shit I learned about Kid Rock in this. At one point, he was performing at a place called the Honky Tonk Bar in Nashville, and he went on this huge tirade against Oprah Winfrey, and he said that she could suck a dick sideways.
What?
I don't know what that means, and I was like,
what?
What?
Like corn on the cob? I don't understand. Like corn on the cob? I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know what it means, but he got kicked out of a honky tonk bar. So you must be pretty fucked up to get kicked out of a honky tonk bar.
Yeah.
I mean, just last year he was performing at this really huge venue in Tennessee. I'm just kidding. It's called the Fish Lips Bar and Grill in Smithsville, Tennessee. And he noticed some people were filming, and he probably noticed because there was probably like 6 people there. And he yelled out like, you fucking homophobic slur with your iPhones out. And, you know, you can post this dick right here, grabbed his crotch. And he's just like throwing out all the gay slurs at these people as an insult. And instead of apologizing, alerting anything, he doubled down. He posted on his social media channel, if Kid Rock uses the word gay slur, offends you, good chance you are one.
Oh, fuck off.
Also, he referred to himself in the third person,
Yeah,
which
that's
is also
the most
problematic.
offensive thing. Yeah.
Kid Rock likes using gay slurs.
Kid Rock mad.
Kid Rock smash. He loves to use that. There's some other interviews where he said rap rock was what people wanted at the time, and they still love those songs at shows, but it turned into a lot of bullshit, and it turned out to be pretty gay.
Oh, for God's sakes.
If someone says you can't say gay like that, then you could tell them to go fuck themselves.
His music is gay? I'm confused about that.
I guess so.
I know a lot of gay people. Not one is into Kid Rock.
There's nothing gay about Kid Rock's music as far as I know.
No, it's very like, I'm a heterosexual. They
yeah. You could remake it. Yeah. You could remake it and be like, I like dick. But I don't think it's been remade. So it seems pretty straight to me. Some of his more recent songs, there was one called We the People that was being shared around. People thought it was a spoof. I think people actually thought it was like a Weird Al Yankovic song. And he's like, that is not me. That is actually Kid Rock. And it's like totally just the most bullshit like Trump song. It's just like snowflakes and fake news and Dr. Fauci and mask mandates and let's go Brandon, like all that shit, and then like to support his like crappy new album, he announced he would not perform at venues that require masks or proof of vaccination, and he would cancel shows at that place. I think they're fine with that.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he's so lame. Most recently, Kid Rock went on Tucker Carlson's show.
The coolest show in the world.
It's so cool.
Sells so many albums. So many albums, please.
He's not a disgusting human being at all. Like, he went on there to be fucking gross and whatever. And he's like, how he can't be canceled. That was the thing. It's like, I'm uncancelable, says Kid Rock, because I don't give a shit and I crawled out of the womb just giving middle fingers in the air. Yeah, fucking rebel doing Tucker Carlson's show. Like, you're so stupid. You're so stupid. And it's like, I can't be canceled. It's like, you can't, no one wants to cancel you, dude, because you're not a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, nobody cares.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You can't cancel a thing that's not a thing. And I want to say that this interview was promoted, by the way, as a quote unquote rare one-on-one interview with Kid Rock. I'm like, dude will sit down and he's a trash bag, and he will sit down and do an interview with anyone that will treat him as relevant. Like,
it's not exclusive.
It is so stupid. And like, they're just like, oh, this doing an interview with Tucker Carlson's going to get the libtards so angry. And all of us are like, man, like, who cares what Kid Rock thinks? Seriously, fuck Kid Rock. And that's our creep.
Love it. Nicely done, Sonia.
Thank you. He's so fucking lame.
He's trash.
He's so trash.
Well, we always end the show with someone who is not a creep. So, Sonia, do you want to hear about someone who's not a creep?
Oh, please.
All right, let's take a quick break and we'll go to our non-creep. All right. Hopefully you can't hear this. Or you can hear this, you just can't hear the paper.
I can hear you.
Okay. Do you know who Jordan Walker Ross is?
No.
This was a suggestion by one of our fans in the Facebook group, Christine. She's a longtime supporter of ours. Thank you so much, Christine.
Yes.
Jordan Walker Ross is an actor who has a podcast called What's Your Limp? He is a person who was born in Texas in 1990. His grandfather is Barry Corbin, the actor. He was the astronaut in Northern Exposure. He's been in a million jillion different things. When he was born, Jordan had severe scoliosis and minor cerebral palsy. He had several operations throughout his life when he was a kid. when he was finally old enough to go to high school and go to school full time, he was bullied relentlessly. He had a limp and he was short and he was just teased an awful lot. And to the point where he had suicide ideation. I know. So he did get into acting and he tried his best. He did auditions and stuff, and casting agents would say things to him. Look, if you lose the limp, you'll be okay. You'll get gigs. And he's like, yeah, great. This is how I'm formed. I mean, this is like,
yeah.
So he has been acting for a few years now. He's on a show called The Chosen, which I've never heard of. It's a show about Jesus and his disciples, and it was crowdfunded. And
I have never heard of this.
Never heard of it, but it's very popular in the Christian community.
Okay.
He also has a role in a show called 1883, which is one of those cowboy shows that's really popular.
Oh, it's the like prequel to Yellowstone.
Tim McGraw's in it.
Yes,
that kind of
and
stuff.
Faith Hill.
Okay.
Faith Hill's
Hill.
in it too.
I love that.
Yeah.
So he is acting and he does a lot of public speaking, and his whole thing is that everybody has a limp. Even if you don't have a limp, everybody has an insecurity. They have something that's holding them back.
Yes.
A vulnerability. And his whole thing is to lean into your limp. Like whatever your limp is, deal with it. And it's, for me, it really struck me because, and I've talked about this before, I had a major fall a few years ago. I fell down a flight of stairs and I had a compound fracture on my ankle.
Yeah.
Multiple surgeries. And
so bad.
It was so bad. And I was with my friends a few weeks ago, and one of them pointed out, like, oh, look, I just saw you limping. Are you okay? And I was so mad because I'm working so hard to get rid of my limp. And he has this podcast called What's Your Limp? And he talks to people, and he's had guests like Tim McGraw, Allison Tolman, Bethany.
I love her.
Love her. Bethany Joy Lenz, she was on One Tree Hill, and that was when Barry Corbin was on One Tree Hill, and he met her back then when she was on the show, and she has another podcast now. And she had to deal with bullying, and all of them just talk about, whatever. He talks about self-esteem and empathy and kind of like what connects people together, and also embracing what makes you unique and using that and leading with that. And he doesn't feel sorry for himself. He's just got a very great positive attitude. And I've been just listening to his podcast this past week, and it's called What's Your Limp? And you could find him on Twitter and all the social medias at What's Your Limp. And that is our Not Creep this week, Jordan Walker Ross.
That is a really good pick.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah. He's great. So thank you so much, Christine, for offering us. And please, if you have suggestions out there for creeps and or not creeps, trust me, we're always looking for them.
Yes.
So please feel free to reach out to us on the social medias, wherever you want to reach out to us. We love it when you use the Annie Potts GIF. We got one. Or pick something for yourselves.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Email us at whatacreeppodcast@gmail.com. Once again, if you want some stickers or suggestions, you can do that there. Or join our Patreon page. Or leave a review wherever you get your podcasts. And Sonia, where can they find you?
You can find me at thesoniashow.com and The Sonia Show on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. Where can they find you, Margot?
You can find me at Brooklyn Fit Chick, mostly for Twitter and Instagram. My TikTok is at Margot Donahue, and my site is brooklynfitchick.com. Thank you so much for joining us. Be safe. Enjoy the spring weather wherever you are. I hope it's spring. And don't be a creep.
You creep.
Don't be a creep.
Thank you for listening to us talk about creeps. You can follow us at What a Creep Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
But don't follow us too closely.
You can email us your creepy stories at whatacreeppodcast@gmail.com.
But please keep your dick pics to yourself.